I guess take us through the Stand Against Racism first of all, and how important it is for the club to make that step.
Yeah, it's a great point, and I was going to touch on it anyway, but I think it's an important issue that's been strung out for too long now, and it needs to be called out, which is what is happening, and we've got the full support of all of our Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander players, and it's absolutely disgraceful that it's still happening. It's really disappointing from our end, and as a playing group and a coaching group, we don't stand for it, and I hope our supporters stand with us in that. So if we can keep calling it out, then that's the best thing that people can do, because it's not good enough, and we need to get rid of it.
Who drove it today? I mean, was there anyone in particular that spoke about this? Spoke about doing this?
No, it was a full group discussion, and coaches brought it up, and obviously everyone was all on board with that. Like I said just before, we are fully behind all of our Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander players, and they're such an important part of our group and our game in general. So to be behind them is really important, and we need to stamp out this poor behaviour, because it's not good enough and it's been going on for too long.
What can you possibly say to Willie to sort of express the feelings towards him at the moment and see all this stuff that's going on?
Yeah, I guess it's just being there to support him in whatever way he needs. Everyone's different in how they approach certain situations, but I think our group's been great. We've got a connection as a group that has been the best that I've had since we've got to the club, and Willie's fit in so well. So I think he's got 40 of his best mates to support him throughout these next few days and the days that have just gone. So again, it's not good enough, but he's got such great support network here at the club and his family as well back home. So hopefully this is the last time we have to talk about it.
I'm sure there's plenty of these instances that happen that we don't actually hear about outside of the club. From inside the club, how consistently is this happening? Is it a week, daily occurrence?
Yeah, I can't speak personally because I haven't been victimised, but I think it is quite common still, and especially with social media, how people can create fake accounts and not put their name to it, I think has created a big problem. And if we can find a way to call those people out, because I think we've got to a point as a society now where we've moved way past that, and it's not even it shouldn't even be in people's frame of mind anymore. It's in the past, and it's never been good enough, and it will never be good enough. So as long as we can understand that if we call it out, people should be called out for it and put to blame, because it's not good enough.
How does it feel to be a young veteran so soon? Does it feel like you've only just started your career?
A little bit, yeah. I feel like I'm still part of the younger group. We've got a big core young group at our club now, and I guess 100 games, it feels a little bit surreal. Like I feel pretty young still. Like I'm just sort of starting my career and learning a lot of things still off the older guys at the club, and building different parts of my game and my leadership and that sort of thing. So to make it to this milestone already is a proud moment for me and my family, and it's great that I get to share that at home. Lots of my friends and family coming this weekend.
Sorry, Ken said that you were a young team and you'd learn a lot from the loss to Collingwood. What do you think you would have taken out of that?
Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate this year in getting over the line in a lot of close games, and I think our game style stands up in those close games, and I think you probably learn more from a loss than you do from a win. It's hard to sort of review games to a certain extent when you're winning every single week. It definitely makes people listen when we haven't quite done something right, and we're able to touch that up, and especially before finals where there are obviously going to be a lot of close games. So we're going to be put in those situations pretty often, and I think it'll do us good stead as a young group going forward, being put in that situation more often.
Who's had the biggest influence on you in your 100 games here at the club?
So many people. If I was to call out one, probably Travis Boak. He's the easiest one to call out, but he's been my mentor now for a few years, and since moving into the midfield especially, I've learnt so much from him on field. But I think the biggest one was, or the biggest thing I've learnt from him is how he is as a person off the field and separating himself as a player and as a human. And that's definitely made things easier for me, easier to deal with media and expectations and, you know, all those things that come with football that you probably don't expect when you get drafted. You just want to play footy. So, yeah, it's been an interesting ride, but Travis has been enormous, and our coaching group as well, Ken, and everyone else has been great.
Is there any more perfect way to mark your 100 in the showdown?
I don't think so. I think if I got to pick a game during the year, it'd probably be this one. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there on the weekend, especially after losing the one earlier in the year. There's more important things than my 100th game this week, so the boys are pretty fired up and ready to go.
I feel like you owe them. I just owe them one after going down early on in the year.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that rivalry's been there for many years now, but it's important to just get our season back on track again after a couple of disappointing losses. So we've definitely got bigger things in mind in terms of the season, but we're really excited for this week. We love showdowns. Everyone loves showdowns. The whole state loves it. So can't wait to get out there and go to battle.
You guys are coming.
Said he'd really like to ruin your top two chances. Would you like to put the final nail in their finals coffin?
It's not in the front of our mind, I'd say that much. We're, I guess, in the stage of the season where we're looking at finals and we need to win every game possible to get top two. So I think that's our mindset going into this game, is not necessarily to end their season, but more so to build on ours and hopefully put ourselves in a great spot to get a home prelim or top two. So yeah, it's exciting, and showdown's obviously the biggest game of the year for us probably. So if we can get over the line, it'll put us in a great spot going forward.
But surely it would be pretty sweet, ending their top eight hopes.
Yeah, it adds a little bit to it, but again, it's probably not the main focus for this week. It's how can we put ourselves in the best spot for finals.
How's the car sort of on point anyway?
Yeah, it's just a corky, so no dramas there. Should be fine.
Where do you see yourself in terms of the AFL as a player? Do you think you're in that upper echelon, and do you think you can be the best player in the competition?
Definitely striving towards that. That's I think that's part of my growth as a player, is to push myself forward, and I don't think that's on me to, I guess, say whether I'm in that conversation, or that's for external people to decide. But I think internally I've become a more consistent player this season, and growing my game in different respects to be able to be more consistent, which is what our playing group needs, is midfielders that turn up every week and you know what you're gonna get from them. So yeah, I'm just trying to build my game every week, and like I said before, I'm a pretty young player still, so there's still so much that I feel I can get better at.
How's your development this season being helped by having Josh Carr come in, obviously someone you worked with previously? Yeah,
definitely. Josh has been great since he's come in. We obviously have the connection from North Adelaide, but I think he's been great, not only for me personally, but for our whole midfield group. He's great with his messaging. He's clear, he's concise. He doesn't give us too much to focus on during the game. He lets us play our natural game and play to our strengths, which is what you want from your coach, just to give you confidence to go out there and perform. And he's been great at doing that since coming to the club.
What's been your biggest achievement, I guess, over these 100 games, either as a team or personally, the biggest moment for you?
Great question. Some that stand out are probably my debut, obviously, is a pretty cool moment when you first get the opportunity, and then I think when we've made finals, that's been the most exciting time for me, is getting so close, which is frustrating in some respects, but gives you that drive to want to go a little bit further, and I want more than anything to win a premiership for this football club. So if we can do that within my playing career, that would be the ultimate goal.
Does this year feel any different to those previous seasons where you've played finals?
Our group's changed slightly, but I feel like we're in a similar mindset in terms of wanting to go all the way. I think our connection is better, personally, for this group. We're such a close group, and we understand each other really well on and off the field, which is, I think, in turn helped us to deal with external expectations and to keep that run going for as long as it did. So yeah, it's a great group, and I love playing with this group, and hopefully we can keep it together.